The nature of desire is that desire keeps moving. This is something that we get wrong in our society today. People are under the impression that if it occurs to you to want something, then you're not going to be happy until you express that desire, you indulge that desire, you satisfy that desire in some way. And in our tradition, both in the Quran and in the statements of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, they told us that desire doesn't work like that. That desire is a moving target. The Prophet ﷺ said that if a person had a valley of gold, that they would want another one, and that people will not be satisfied until their mouths are filled with the dirt of their graves. Right? So satisfaction doesn't come from just engaging your desires. Yes, we have to find a healthy outlet. Okay, like we're not like celibates, we're not monastics or anything like that. We have to find a healthy outlet for our desires, but we can't succumb to the other extreme and think that whatever we desire, we just have to satisfy it, indulge it, act on it, and then we're going to be satisfied. No. That's not how you're supposed to. In fact, no pre-modern society, or at least the major quote-unquote world religions, and I don't agree with that sort of paradigm, but if we're going to call them world religions, most faith communities, let's say, recognize that you have to interact and control and discipline your desires. That your desires can be a runaway train. It can be a snowball rolling down a hill. That the more that you indulge them without any limits, without any discipline, without any virtue, that they're going to demand more and more and more of you, all right? And we see this a lot with relationships. People, they're used to, looking at women or looking at men, and they're scrolling through Facebook or for TikTok or whatever, and they're looking, and they're getting filled with all of these desires. And in our community, the Muslim community, people are like, oh, just get married. It's going to solve it. It's not going to solve it. You've engaged your desire so much that marriage can't fix that issue that you've done with your desire. You're going to get married, and you're still going to look at other people. You're still going to want to be with other people. And then some people will kind of crack jokes and say, well, you get to marry 4. It doesn't matter. You can marry 20. If you can't control and you can't control your desires and discipline them, it's never going to be enough, because desire doesn't work that way. Desire is always going to have another frontier that you can push it to, right? Desire is always going to demand more and more and more. And so people need to be realistic. They need to actually train themselves and discipline themselves and fight against themselves and fight against the excess to the point where they can actually enjoy the legitimate and the purposeful and the intentional satisfaction of their desire in a healthy way, according to what Allah revealed.